especially when Karma's already taken off the card. So I think this might just end up being an Alistair for Kellen.
Yeah, it's either Alistair or they pick the Poppy to really try and make his life worse. But instead it's Leona.
I'm not so much of a fan of this. I think when Alistair and Poppy are available, I think those are options you could lean towards. It is fearless, so maybe the thought process is we want to save those for later, but I think against Gen G, they're not really a save it for later team. It's we need everything we can to win this game.
Yeah. Or wait, no. The other option is like get this game out of the way because we're on red side. Then on blue side, that's when we pick all of the cool stuff.
Yeah, I mean that's what I was thinking, but I don't know. I think
I think you're right.
Yeah. Ultimately, I think top matchup favored towards Keen with the Jace into that Gwen.
I mean, there is a lot of team fight potential with this composition, right? There is the Gwen for side lane power as well. High tier list champions. See whether they can make them work though as we jump into the rift. Vikla has been up and down, to say the least. That's looking like a bit of a down type situation there, as of course electrocute on the Ari makes things a little bit different. Steals something away as Canyon has started this one up immediately. And Chovy going to look to come in. Vikla going to chase him down though. Spirit Rush now on cooldown, but Vikla may just be dead because he moved in. So he's going to have to flash. And so now there is no way for BNK to really contest these grubs unless Raptor does something very sneaky. Comes in maybe a little early though as the stun comes down. That is going to be all three of the grubs going on over to Canyon. And Raptor just has to Warrior Trickster.
Chovy used his charm on the wave to finish the last minion. So Vikla's like, okay, go time.
Speaking of go time, oh no, he doesn't make it over. He doesn't make it over, and the Orb of Deception is just going to kill him. Canyon takes a couple of turret shots, but he's otherwise A-OK. In the back of the pit, and Canyon right over here. Teleport in.
Chovy just got Malignance, massive.
Oh my god, that's a huge... 11 minutes? Oh yeah, we getting out of here. As now Chovy looking to see where he can use this cool new item. True Shot Barrage once again. That's actually 1 point. As Solar Flare not going to quite get the stuns. A little bit slower as, oh dear, the Wukong not exactly doing too much. The Drake going on over to Canyon there as well as Kellen going to have to flash to get himself out of the way. No more stun available, and Kellen with the fadeaway ignite goes in, but Chovy I think is going to be able to get a little bit of value from his Malignant. And Duro played that so well, but we're going to have a look towards his top side as Clear is underneath this turret, did have his mist for a little while, but Canyon, he charges up the queue. He takes down the Gwen. That's exactly what G-Sun just said. Yes. That's how many times it's broke electric.
Yeah. I mean, this was slick. The fadeaway spear with that execute damage.
Oh, is it a Canyon? Deny the perfect game. Because this is looking really, really difficult for BNK.
Well,
a 4,000 gold lead is ridiculous. His Solar Flare comes down. In goes Duro. True Shot Barrage this time will tag Ruler, but they're not really able to do too much with that initial salvo. And Gen G just happy to stand their ground. Diablo is very healthy, but maybe not for long, because there is a Canyon moving in. Spotted on a control ward, so BNK can now move away.
It was Draven and it was Dig in the LCS. And it was, what was the Dig bot lane, the OG one?
I'm a Cutie Pie.
Yes, it was I'm a Cutie Pie on Draven, and he was just like, sliding with his axe. It was iconic.
That's so rad.
It was so him.
Well, Ruler is able to get out of the way of everything. Okay. That's a little bit unfortunate there for Kellen and Diablo, because he just sidesteps the entirety of Leona's kit.
Yeah, evade those, but when you don't even force them, it feels bad. Like, I don't think Kellen was expecting the kill, but he was hoping for a bit more. Now, TP coming in.
Yeah, we are trying to get in there. Featherstorm going to get out of the way of Kellen. Remember, there's no Solar Flare, and the pullback on the Feathers should mean that Leona has to at least get out. Teleport comes in from the Arias. Chovy could be in a little bit of trouble. The fadeaway charm is good, but Clear is threatening. Chovy has pulled back.
Chovy has no ultimate, so it's a big power loss right now.
Yeah, they're just trying to reset this Rift Herald, so BNK has to take that one down themselves. Remember, BNK, they started the initial teleport in.
8 times. I feel like we saw all 8 of those on screen.
Yeah, it's actually pretty impressive observing here from Kisan and, of course, Jonas Strong. To really show the amount of electrocution that's been going on this game.
I think talking about that last setup, I think it's just kind of an indication of the difference between Gen G and some of our weaker teams in the league, because they backed off from the play. And I feel like I've seen teams in our league hundreds of times commit to that fight and lose it.
This is the death of the perfect game. If BNK are able to naturally have massive leads. BNK are going to start off this Drake once again, though. Grand Starfall is up and available. The Canyon is just right here. Diablo moving in. Ruler on an awkward spot, but Keen, he's looking for some Shock Blast. He finds the middle there. That's 6 points. Is now clear. Looking for Chovy in the back line. And it is going to be Drake secured by BNK. So, no more perfect game. Gen.G not going to need to play as reserved anymore. They throw down the Rift Herald, looking to see whether they can get some meaningful damage towards this outer turret. See whether that does indeed happen. Shock Blast not quite connecting. Duro looking for an angle, perhaps, as in goes Kellen. But he's blowing up. Oh my goodness, the damage is absurd. And there's a knock-up onto Vikler as well. He finds the Emperor's Divide, but it hits no one. It does nothing, and Duro's just out of there. The stun comes down, but it's onto the clone. Keen now looking to see what he can get done, and that Shock Blast at point blank is so scary to the skies. Well, but for the Pantheon, as Keen could be in a little bit of trouble. There's a teleport coming in. To the skies goes the Jace, and he's able to actually trade really, really nicely here. Still has a turret, of course, as Vikler.
Nice flash.
Just, yeah. The flash is going to be up, so it's not a bad ulti there from Vikler, but unfortunately with that summoner spell, Keen is able to mitigate it. Still, it was perfectly flashed, but now Grand Starfall comes in. Stun down onto Clear will get his flash as well. Gen.G, that's a lot of summon spells on BNK's side down. Gen.G might want to go for this Otacon.
They could potentially, after this tower, you know, they did a good amount of damage to BNK FearX. I think that's the difference, right? Flash bid on both sides, but the resources invested by BNK FearX and the health bars lowered a lot more significant.
Yeah, not to mention the coffers are just a little bit fuller.
Power that you know, despite the fact it's a 6,000 gold lead, they also have the added power of all those pedals, and they are looking for Chovy.
Oh, yeah, they will just be able to throw everything at him, and I think Chovy is going to die. He almost played towards the bottom side. His quickness was so good in the dragon fight as well.
I mean, Keen kind of set up them getting the Otacon.
Hey, there we go.
I think that's the thing with POM as well. The first game, you kind of like, okay, who's still in the running? And right now, everyone in Gen.G still in the running. You know, no one's made any flubs that make you think, they'll have to have a crazy game too.
Infernal Soul, kind of a big deal here as well. Will give a lot of extra damage over to Gen.G because they're the ones that are starting it up, and they should be able to take this one down without too much. There's a little bit of awareness here, as Duro is not the target that Raptor was looking for.
Quick reactions from Duro there. As soon as it hits something, he's instantly dipping out. Doesn't know what's in that brush. They will clear it out though.
Ooh, Chovy finds another electrocute. That does a lot of damage. Still holding the charm from what we can see is the flash has to be out. As in goes Duro, finds a knock-up onto Vikler, but the follow-up isn't quite there. Clear's teleported in. Grand Starfall from Canyon, who's looking for Vikler, gets his target, but the follow-up is not going to be available, and Diablo has already dealt with Chovy. A great fight here for BNK FearX around the Baron as well, with no jungler. Is it a Baron angle?
It's risky, but I think they have to go for it. You're in a bad spot. Try and make it happen. They're going to maybe look for some poke in the meantime to make it weird.
Oh, Diablo could be in trouble here as Ruler able to free hit. Clear, looking to get on top of him. Raptor taking so much damage as Keen flashing away from Diablo. Can Diablo follow it up though? And the answer is yes, as they take him out. Ruler with the flash is so sexy, but still, he is going to go down. And Diablo just chasing after him. There it is. The kill comes through. It's a triple here. Could have got the movement speed to actually get out alive, but instead he still didn't go towards the cinders.
Diablo's so strong. Clear got an extra level from his Rod of Ages coming in, and is about to hit 17.
Well, Duro is trying to get out of here as well, and he is going to be able to do so. Has to use a lot of buttons, but look at this. Diablo is so big. And now Chovy trying to take matters into his own hands. Shield of Daybreak going to tie him up, though. And Gen.G not really able to find too many inroads now, and BNK coming alive. As Clear getting on top of Chovy in that backline. His Ruler's just dead. That Mystic Shot did so much damage, and now Chovy is going to be cut down where he stands. The two damage dealers just on the floor, and BNK are looking for a Baron.
And we were talking about BNK FearX, you know, how in their previous matches, sometimes
even footing. BNK, there is still an outer turret in that mid lane that they can siege down for some extra money utilizing this Baron. See some of the cracks in the Gen.G composition as well. Like, there's no front line for this team. Kellen is actually going to be a legitimate tank as the game goes on. Of course, can just put up the Eclipse as we can see right here. Actually now taxiing into the backline as well as Keen gets engaged on, and Canyon is just dead in the blink of an eye. Gen.G are falling apart, ladies and gentlemen.
It's getting decimated at this point. 2,000. I think we're a little ways off that right now.
I would say that perfect game is probably not on the cards. And in fact, a game that they actually win is looking further and further away at this point in time, as Gen.G not going to lose their inner turret just yet, but it is getting very close.
And this is why we've seen so many Ezreal bans in the second rotation. BNK FearX prioritizing it early.
Well, Canyon face checking once again, as it is going to be the kill onto Kellen. BNK FearX still with an opportunity though, as Chovy is incredibly low. Canyon as well, falling lower and lower. The heal going to be invested just to try and keep them alive. On the line clear as well. Being able to catch flanks has been really impressive. As Canyon goes in, Kellen in a little bit of a rough spot, is actually now flashing away, has been separated from the rest of the team. True Shot Barrage not really doing too much outside of softening up Ruler, and now Raptor could be in trouble. The flash out once again as the charm is invested, as Canyon was looking for Diablo. And Gen G, they once again kill Kellen. Man, possible it is only Soul Point, remember, because BNK were able to deny that second Infernal Drake for Gen G. So now they will move to Soul Point. Gen G do get their prize. But now 30 seconds until the Baron, and this is where the real dance begins. I'm just so glad that we've actually got a real game of League of Legends. I wasn't expecting a real game of League of Legends in like when we were at the 7-minute mark.
You know what? I wasn't expecting a real game of League of Legends when the first time we had this matchup in the LCK, and we got one. And now we're getting it again. So BNK FearX rising up to the challenge. And especially considering how bad the state of game this was. 6,000 gold deficit, 2,000 gold up still, despite the fact that Gen G started making a little bit of progress in the recent minutes.
Oh, Diablo just throwing out Mystic shots all over the place. Solar Flare going to get some slows, but not too much more. Is now clear. Goes golden, but Raptor's the one in so much trouble. Canyon locks down the kill. Duro keeping himself safe as well. And the Gwen is dead. Diablo is going to have to be an absolute hero, but the charm lands. Of course it does. This time around, Chovy in the clutch, able to make it happen. The knock-up onto Kellen will be able to take him down, but Duro is going to die. Diablo having to use everything, and the follow-up charm is just too good. And from being in a winning position to probably just losing the game in the snap of some fingers.
Duro playing so well around clear, ensuring they got that kill.
Vikla's dead. Well, he's golden too. But there are a lot of feathers on the ground there. The Sand Soldiers will celebrate, but they're not celebrating for BNK. This inhibitor turret's going to go down the inhibitor to follow, but I'm seeing this like the Xerxes moment, you know, where he throws the spear and the scratch is left on the cheek of the god. And certainly Gen G can bleed. This was not clean throughout the mid-game, but they do take the W.
오공 노플인데? 야, 그냥부터 때릴게. 야, 그냥부터 때릴게. 야, 위에 오공 노플이야. 오공 우리는. 나왔어. 나 그냥 잡았어. 야, 그 아지를. 야, 나 상처 안 줘. 아지를 괜찮아. 야, 레오나. 아지를 세탁. 가자. 궁 불게. 미드 노플. 프린즈 있다. 노플린즈. 끝내 생각하자. 이게 안 닿네. 아지를 풀고. 아지를 풀떡 되거든. 아니 노플이야. 이거 내가 그냥 아지한테 박아줄게. 그러니까 내가 풀떡 돼. 나 아지한테 호응되는 거 없어. 나 아지를 호응돼. 나 분장 있다. 나 이거 풀떡 박을. 풀떡 박아보고. 박은데.
To it. I do want to give some credit to Duro. I think in the last fight, completely shut down clear, played around Zhonya's, and managed to reduce his impact pretty significantly. But yeah, I think ultimately. But I think it was on this patch as well that they nerfed Yuumi, or did she get nerfed recently? I'm trying to remember.
Can go through and have a look at the patch notes, as there's the Aurora that you were talking about will be locked in. And so there is the Lulu, wasting absolutely no time. We are just locking it in as we have Fairy Lulu, Lucian Nami.
I was wrong. Yuumi was nerfed last patch, and Lulu's been nerfed, I swear, like 18 patches in a row. That's an exaggeration, but it's been a lot.
Yeah.
So to be clear, she got nerfed on 2508, she got nerfed on 2507, she got nerfed on 2504.
My god.
So in the last 5 patches, she's been nerfed 3 times.
Yep. Chovy's Galio, always extraordinarily scary though. Let's dive onto the Rift here for game number 2. See if BNK can do it. Absolutely hopeless. You might be able to stand a little bit more toe-to-toe.
I think that's the thing, is that with Lucian Nami, you have a lot of burst damage, but if you dash in a little too far, you're playing into barrier heal.
Oh dear.
A longer fight is where it can backfire, especially like lethal tempo versus electrocute. This is such a Lucian would be like an item and heart. Oh no.
Oh dear. Well, Canyon's just going to move in, and Diablo just going to try and turn that into a kill. Raptor will find Canyon, who flashes away.
Okay.
Great play out of BNK FearX.
Oh no.
All right, well, there's a taunt onto Vikla as Canyon is moving over. The chains do connect, but down goes the Silas immediately, and Chovy's still alive. Vikla going to be regretting that one, I could imagine. As Raptor now fighting against Canyon here. There's a full minion wave, but this doggo is unleashed. and down goes Canyon. The bleed's still going to land. The teleports.
You'll get to see that previous play. She'll be flashing away at pretty much the perfect moment. The bleed from the Neferi.
Yeah.
So hot right now. Oh, now looking for a dive. Clears a little lower mana.
Yeah, Raptor wasting no time. Let's see whether Keen has himself a scrap shield. He does. And he runs towards his jungle. So B&K not going to be able to get the kill, but to get the flash, and that's exactly as we can see.
Yeah, the thing I was saying earlier, so it used to be back when we had Gale Force.
Oh, there's another Justice Punch. It's Canyon. He didn't actually want to come over here. He thought that, you know, Vikla wasn't going to be killable, but then he was like, hang on. Very ninja-esque. Absolutely. As now they go in. There's the lightning crash. And Kellen, he's definitely dead. Canyon just says, okay, we'll take that one. Some seafood, please. And Raptor, he's going to be taking the grubs in response. And so B&K not getting nothing for the play, but getting a kill onto this Zed, another one, is going to mean good things for Gen G's mid-game.
And also, I mean, it's only a bit of a syscall for Ruler, but if you look at the farm difference as well, basically no lead for Lucian in this matchup.
I've seen this one before. As Equalizer going to come down from Keen, he just realizes that perhaps I'm getting dove. And they're still going to go in, as Raptor is taking so much damage. He goes untargetable, but thankfully, clear.
The kid of Neferi able to drop the aggro just in time and survive. Oh, I think he did get it. He came back and got it with the Winds of War.
Oh my goodness. That's not something that we often see Chovy missing out on, as Clear takes a lot of damage, but does trade it back quite nicely. And now the ulti's actually going to come on through. Equalizer down, as Keen takes a big combo. And he's ticking, has the scrap shield, so he's going to be okay. Leandri's diff coming through pretty nicely there for Clear, as Gen G, we're going to try and take this first dragon, but Raptor comes on over. It is going to be secured by Canyon. Tidal Wave is good, but heroic entrances coming in on both sides. The knockup comes in. That is going to be a kill going over to the Silas, and Chovy has to flash away. Good blast cone. How many games does that mean he's played in scrims? As Ruler is going to get culled here. Takes a lot of damage as Diablo not going to quite be able to match all of the bullets.
I think
still a trade of ultis.
This is the thing, right? First item's completed, Ruler's just dead.
Yeah.
Or bare minimum barrier and wild growth bin.
Well, Canyon is looking to come in and take down Clear here, who bounces to the wrong side. Oh no! Oh, unforced error number 2. This time Canyon's actually able to capitalize on it instead of... Scheme was like, well, thank you for that. Diablo not looking too worried about it, though, even finding the piercing light damage onto Ruler, as Raptor with some daggers coming on down. Clear gonna get harpooned.
You gotta remember, no cleanse on Diablo, so if a Torn hits or maybe a polymorph, you just have to sit through that.
Yeah, and there's Imperial Mandate as well, so it's not Mikhail's from Kellen as item number 1, so he's very susceptible to CC. Diablo all in on the aggression, as Equalizer is odd, to say the least. Canyon not really with too much of an option here, as the Tidal Wave is great. Canyon now looking for something there, but he just goes down. Canyon's having a happy game here today. What it feels like as Diablo goes in, the ulti from Ruler has to flash away though, and B&K really flexing their muscles. Rift Herald now going to be taken under the noses of Gen G. They have a ward. Is going to be evened out. I don't think Canyon's going to be able to secure this, and that is indeed the fact. And it's a Chemtech Soul. We'll actually get one this time around, as Diablo goes in with the culling, and the turret almost kills him there.
He wants to so bad.
Oh yeah, yeah, you could
do it, Canyon, to be funny.
Yeah, and look, you've been doing it throughout the rest of the game. You may as well. Chovy just flash Justice Punches, and does get Diablo's flash, just like that. But in goes Raptor, and heroic exit there from Chovy. Canyon now going
to set up the Arakan, but Canyon on the top side of the map. This is risky.
Risky for whom?
Yes.
Huh. Well, Vikla he's going to be able to get that minion. Puts one ability on cooldown, spins around a bit, and there is the Equalizer. It does absolutely nothing. I just don't know whether it's going to be enough here to keep him alive. That harpoon did most of his health bar, as Vikla presses the R button again because he can, and he is just going to waste their time before burning.
You get your next opportunity to take the Sadakan.
Yeah, Chovy sees it and sees that he can do nothing about it.
Oh, now watch the XP bars.
Oh yeah, here we go. And, well, Dura is going to spot Raptor here as he moves over, but the Chemtech Drake is going to be taken. B&K not even putting up too much of a fight, because Vikla was looking to kill this turret. He does do so. Now going to continue the fight forward, but doesn't hit the chain, and Chovy is going to be absolutely fine. So another turret goes down. Equalize now onto Diablo, as in goes Canyon. Heroic entrance is going to come on through as Diablo flashes to get himself away. Taunt is going to connect onto Vikler as now Ruler dives in, but doesn't hit the ulti onto too much of anything. Clear is burning, but no one's there to follow up, and no one's dead on the side of Gen G, but they used a lot of buttons for no damage at all. And so not really doing too much of anything. Speaking of which, Raptor comes down towards his bottom side as Keen does go golden. Gets the barbecue in the right position as well, which looks pretty cool. But look at this. The playability. Looking at Bubble connecting here onto Ruler, who will just ride the wave. And Equalizer. Diablo actually walking all the way down it and just explodes. Nothing he can do. Canyon looking to try and get on in there, but does get out instead. And the doggo goes down this time. Heroic entrance. And Clear is just going to explode. Where did everyone go?
Didn't have the flash available. Remember, Kellen used his ult a moment before.
Oh,
so no peel tools meant a quick fight win for the side of Gen G.
Kellen just looking to try and defend as Vikler is fighting against Chovy, but there goes the Baron. As Keen moves on down towards his bottom side, we'll be able to take this outer turret, at least eventually, as he does go golden. Raptor going to be moving in. Canyon comes down as well as Keen is just going to die.
But it looks like Raptor's somewhat unfazed.
Yeah, Vikler on a wraparound as well. The rest of Gen G getting into the banana brush as Vikler does come in. BNK, they're all here. And in a choke point with that tidal wave is absolutely huge. They do manage to take down Diablo though, so the Dragon, it will go over to BNK, but can they stay alive in the fight? Three-man taunt from Chovy's gigantic as Raptor goes in. I'm not sure about that one, and the knock-up is going to connect. Down goes the Aurora. And once again, 4 of them are dead in trade for 2, but Keen was dead in, like, in the bottom lane for no reason.
The first inhibitor tower of the game is going to go down, and the mid lane, tier 2, is sure to follow.
Yep, the inner turret's certainly going to fall. We'll see whether they can get yet.
He's won that fight, and he's on his way to IEs.
Whoa, there's an equalizer. We are just using it as Ruler.
Speed up.
Just not really too deterred. And so there's another equalizer as Kellen almost just dies to that alone. And Chovy's on a flank. Vikler will find him. The taunt is going to come through. Keeps 2 of them busy here as Diablo. Oh my god, Canyon gets in there. Double kills. The bottom lane is eviscerated. And look at that. The bouncy castle is not where Vikler wanted to be. He was playing League of Legends. He didn't want to go to a kid's birthday party. And now Raptor is just a doggo underneath the turret with nowhere to go. And Clear diving over that wall. He's on a control ward though. And Canyon may actually lose out on this one. Another round of spells and that's a dead Zed. But yeah, no, not going to bed here.
I think the kid's birthday party might have been more fun at this point.
Yeah, especially like bouncy castles are really fun actually. That was not a fun version of one.
And now they're pushing up down the game. It's only Raptor alive. There are spawns coming in soon. Can he do anything? That's the question.
Well, it's looking like the answer is going to be no. He's going to get taunted up. Does go untargetable, but these Nexus turrets are not long for the world. And Gen G, it's looking like it's going to be a 2-0 here. Yet another win for Canyon. Zed as well, even though things looked a little bit dicey. Finishes the game with 7 kills.
And slow. Keep nerfing Lulu. You're in the right direction.
Yeah, no, I think so. Not quite nerfed her enough, as we can see here. You know what's the best part? That button even has like secondary effects as well, like if you use it on a teammate.
Exactly.
It's just too good.
Honestly, that
nerf Zed as well, by the way, while you're at it.
Galio looking a little bit strong. Zeri too could take a hit. Rumble.
Yep.
Chovy, I think, too, probably needs a nerf.
Yeah, I think Chovy could get enough. Galio, fine.
I just think it's ridiculous. Chovy's been so unbalanced for such a long time. Like, what is the balanced team doing?
Yeah, what is Riot even like? We should call David Turley and just say, like, what do we do about this Chovy guy? As Canyon going to be able to outplay Clear in the end there, as they do finish things off. It's once again the hand of Gen G. As everyone just doing so much damage. The fact that Keen does the least out of everyone else outside of Duro.
It actually matches my hand. The fingers are the perfect length.
Yeah, right?
They're actually cool. It's not even just because obviously the 4 long fingers and the thumb, but it's like the fact that Chovy's slightly longer.
Yeah. Although my little finger and ring finger are far different sizes. Keen did too much damage.
He did too much damage. He messed up.
Yeah, he just see. There we go.
Thank you very much, guys. This is Dear for the POM interview translation, joined by Chovy on the side of Gen G. Congratulations! Thank
네,
you.
초비 선수 12전 전승의
초비.
POM은 무려
You're undefeated in all 12 matches so far and with 800 POM points. How impressive. How do you feel? I never expected to get this much POM, but just the fact that our team is on a 12 winning streak makes me very happy.
BNK POX가 1라운드 때 세트 패를
Just like how BNK FearX
조금
back in round one,
나오기도 했었는데요. 오늘도 역시 만만치 않은 경기.
you know, they took up a game from you guys and almost swept you. But and today's match was just as intense. So was there anything that they gave you trouble? They gave you trouble with? Yeah, I think we were able to. I think thinking about round one, we did give them the advantage as well, and in game one as well today, I think we noticed that the enemy was constantly trying to find an angle to flip the game around, and I think we were just having to really grip onto the advantages that we had so that it doesn't affect us to fall back or anything. So in game one, you had a solid game with Ari, and in the last team fight, you landed that charm on the Wukong over the wall, and that was so impressive. So walk us through your decision making. I think the first charm that I landed was when he actually cloned, and he was trying to engage into us, and I was like, what the audacity, and I had to just hit my charm on him when he tried to engage on us. And is there any secret to landing your charms? I think you just have to be super focused. Your concentration is everything. And with the recent patch, despite many believing that the game's tempo is a lot slower, both teams took a fast tempo today. So was there a call that fast tempo would benefit you today? Yeah, I think with the patch, it had affected the tempo of the game. I think it really comes down to how much advantage you can take from the laning phase and how much you can do around the map with your jungler. And in game 2, we got Canyon Zed against the enemy Nafiri. And with Zed consistently taking kills, it felt like Zed's scaling was Genji's priority. So was Zed the key point of your comp today? I think Zed against Nafiri is a very viable matchup. And based on each other's, first pick, I think it just felt like both sides of the draft and the comp was kind of unstable. So I think I was just trying to play Galio so that I can definitely sort of stabilize our comp in general, not necessarily to set our setup. And you ended up dealing the most damage in game 2. Yeah, I think it's just because I kept participating and engaging in team fights. That's probably why. And Chovy, apparently a lot of people say that you are a lookalike with Caster Prince. How do you think? Yeah, honestly, Prince is a very good-looking, handsome guy, so it makes me happy to hear something like that. And so far, you are keeping the streak in round 2 without even dropping a game. So would you like to say anything to your fans? I think we're keeping up a good showing, and we're going to keep trying and keep putting in effort to continue our win streak and provide with a good performance. Let's give it up for Chovy, and that's the end of the interview with Chovy, and back to the space.